Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 200. Wow, 200 videos I've done since I started this back in 2020. After arriving from Australia, I started a website as well. And sometimes you may be interested in saying, well, where do I find all the videos? Now, there is a YouTube channel, but I'm not sure how easy that is to find. But I just want to inform you, I have a website where there's a list of all, well, 199 videos, soon to be 200 videos once this is posted. And if you're interested in saying, well, where do I find the list? Well, you can find that on the website. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the website. It is known as Notes of a Nomad, and it's as it says, it's Notes of a Canadian Nomad. The link is notesofanomad.ca, CA standing for Canada. And you'll find uh, the introduction why I started this website. You know, this site is dedicated to my grandchildren and any future descendants who may be interested in learning about me and my life. You know, maybe decades from now, maybe 100 years from now, people say, what was life like when my great grandfather was alive? Now, this will tell you about things that happened, where I worked, where I lived, where I traveled, some of the things that were happening, like the war in Ukraine and COVID-19, on all of that. So that's why I started this particular channel. The website may not be around for 100 years from now, but YouTube, I would imagine there will be some way to access those videos that I've created. So if you're interested in seeing the website and the list, you have different tabs up here like home, about, video post, contact, privacy, and the last one is this list of video posts. This is where you will find a list of all the videos that have been posted. So last week, it was the elephant in the room where I spoke about dementia and Alzheimer's disease, etc. And previous the family gathering we had in Hawaii just before I came here to Australia, uh, and other things like photographs that I found with a picture of my grandfather from when, well, I've never met him. He passed away before my dad even came to Canada, and he was in Wales. But my dad had a picture of him, and I found that photograph. I didn't know where it was, but I came across it, so I thought I would show that. So those are videos that go back, when I went to Toronto in September of this year, other thoughts that I had about artificial intelligence and how I think volunteering is so beneficial. So these are my ideas that I share. Who knows? Maybe 100 years from now, I'll say, "Oh, that's quaint. What that old man was doing uh, back in the years of late 2019, etc., going on, and also where I lived, where I worked, where I've traveled, when I was in Nepal earlier this year. In fact, this one here, the one on the 26th of April earlier this year, Maharendra Nagar, that particular principal in that school just contacted me yesterday, once to set up a meeting with some of the students in his school. So there's an example. And if I wanted to look at that video, there's a link to the video. So this is very easy way to go through some of the videos, all the ones in Nepal, the 12 weeks, one for every week. Some of my experiences, the fact that I stopped off in Singapore and met the fellow who was the AGRA ambassador for Singapore, and Singapore is such an amazing place. Uh, so some of my thoughts, my trips, previous trips, British Virgin Islands the year before in November of 2022, just some of our friends going on the boats and, to Fast Eddie. There's Fast Eddie has passed away. The circus that my grandchildren are in, this one in May, the Great All American Youth Circus. That's fascinating to see what my grandchildren are up to. And there's some videos of them in the circus. Uh, my thoughts on Elon Musk. and why I find them fascinating, when I went dancing in Ethiopia. So just all sorts of ideas. Maybe some of them you've said, oh, I'd be interested in seeing that. This way, at least you can scroll through the videos and say, oh, there's one I'd like to, and just click on the link and say, oh, there's one. So this is how you can find a whole list of everyone starting on video number one, which I did back in March. Um, I think it was March, or was it February? Let's have a look here. So it was in February, the 5th of February, 2020, prior to COVID-19 affected. Had no idea when I did the first video that COVID was hovering in the background. And that's when I did the video on the week that everything changed, on the 18th of March, 2020. So that was after 7 weeks of videos. On the eighth week, that's when COVID struck. So there's where I stayed, what happened. So there's a whole list on this website of Notes of a Nomad. So that is how you can find, should you be interested in saying, what are some of those other videos? You don't have to watch them all, but you can scroll through and say, there's one about, I think it's video around number 24, lingua franca, the language that I had to learn when I worked on the gold mines, called Funagalo. And that's where I spoke about, I gave an example of who killed Cock Robin, but I did that in Funagalo rather than in English. So that might be of interest to you as well. So with that, I say welcome to my 200th video. And I wish you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter. Until the next time, it's bye for now from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.